fantastic piece of music. Hey everybody, welcome to Keyboard Skills Pro, and today in this lesson we're going to learn how to play Johann Friedrich Burgmuller's Innocence. This comes from the 25 Easy and Progressive Studies, Opus 100, a collection of studies, etudes, whatever you want to call them, for the learning pianists, I suppose, although they are obviously not exactly for beginners, but certainly as you progress through your years of learning, this will work out pretty well. So Innocence is number 5 in the collection, and it's a fun piece in F major full of runs and chords, and certainly teaches you lots of great skills. So let's first of all take a look at the music in general. So we can see at the beginning of the music we've got a tempo of moderato, so a moderate speed, and Burgmuller suggests a tempo of 110, although generally Burgmuller's tempos tend to be a lot faster than perhaps is musically pleasing to the ear. So often students, I tend to say, just take them a little slower, just a smidge. But 112 on this one isn't too far out of the way. We've got one flat at the beginning, which means we are in the key of F major. And let's just refresh ourselves on our F major scale. Yes, it's that guy, isn't it, with the B flat in it, okay, so watch out for that. And there are a few extra black notes thrown in along the way just for the fun of it. Okay, so it is a waltz. That means there are 3 beats to every bar, and we have got collections of semi-quavers, so quick notes. We've got lots of quavers, the half-beat notes, and we've got lots of crotchets. So as I say, it's a real nice piece, and by George, doesn't it use the full compass of the keyboard, which is very, very nice. So we're going to enjoy that in just a few moments. So to start off with, we've got the camera a little bit more zoomed into the centre. We're going to take a look at the first section of this piece of music. Okay, so we're beginning with the left hand. So where are we going to start? Well, we're going to start with this chord here, just on around middle C, F, A, C. This is the F major chord. This is the tonic chord, the home chord of the piece. So remember this one. And what you want to try and do with these pieces is try and memorise them as if they were chords, with chord symbols, and we'll put these on the screen to help. So here we go. So F major, 1, 2, 3. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the middle and the top note and move them away from each other. So we use this finger on the G, the thumb on the D, and we then get a G minor 7. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to move those guys down, and we're going to play E, B flat, C for 3 beats. 1, 2, 3, and then lift those guys up and bring the F chord back in. Look, that's why I said remember that F chord. 1, 2, and then at the end raise your thumb. Ooh, that's a good sound. That's called an augmented chord. We'll come back to that in a moment. Okay, so once again then, here we go. So when we're counting, we've got to make sure we have a very strong pulse. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Ta 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 tum. Down, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we've got 3 chords in there. We've got a chord of F major. So I want you to memorise that one, F, A, C. F, G and D make up, with the note in this right hand up here, the B flat in the melody, that makes up a chord called G minor 7. And if you're wondering why the G is not on the bottom, that's because it's in what we call an inversion. The chord notes have been mixed up into another order, but that's okay. Don't worry too much if you don't understand that. But learn that chord G minor 7. And then all you do is you shift down those fingers and you play E, B flat and C. This is a C7 chord. This is called a dominant 7. It's got a nice strong pushy sound, and you can hear that when these two go back to the middle to the F chord. Listen to that, look. The end. That's called a perfect cadence. We've got a music theory video on the channel here all about perfect cadences. On that F bar 4 in my copy, this particular F chord, look, then goes up, C sharp. So it's the same chord, look, just with a C sharp. That's called an F augmented. It's a rising chord. It lifts the music and moves it on to the next bit. Okay, so that's the first 4 bars. Now, when we lift the C to C sharp, that augmented chord, that C sharp can then go on to the D, and we then have D, F, A. That's a D minor, look. Okay, so remember that one, D minor. We play it again at the end, look. So 1, 2, 3. And then we lift that up and we go G, C, E for the C chord. 1, 2, 3, and this is where it gets really clever. We split these two guys away from each other, like that, look. So C chord, G, C, E. You can then see it becomes G, B natural, and then F. Now the B natural is because we're changing key at this point in this bar. You see this bar with this bit in the melody, look. There we go, that's a little bit there. So we're going to play 3 G7s, 1, 2, 3, and then these two guys come together and land on a little C chord. By the way, if you've learned arabesque, which is this piece, the same chord sequence happens at the end. Da 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 da, then finish on C. And that's because Burgmuller wrote that as well. That's one of the other pieces in the 25 Easy and Progressive Studies, and you'll find that here on my YouTube channel as a cool 3-part learning video. Okay, so that's the first part of Innocence, okay, number 5 in the 25 Easy and Progressive Piano Studies. Okay, everybody, let's go back to the beginning now, and we're going to play the F chord to start with. So let's count in 1, 2, 3. G minor 7. 3 of those. Move down. Back to the F chord. 1, 2. Thumb goes up. Thumb goes up. Play it again. D minor becomes this C chord. Split the top notes away from each other and then bring them back. So we have to watch there, look, is when you play that da 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 da, just, you don't have to, people move, don't need to move, look, as long as you're using 5, 2 and 1, your 3 and your 1 will be able to take those other two notes, look, and then just bring them back in. Very cute, huh? There you go. Okay, so that's the first part. So what I would say is first of all, learn the left hand and really get those chords well learned, not just by reading, but try and get them so that you can memorize them. So you just play them. If you need some help with learning the movements, remove all the rhythm from the left hand and simply hold down a static holding chord. What do I mean by that? Well, if you're trying to put it together, as we will do in a moment once I've shown you the right hand, instead of playing the chords like that, just hold them down. And your hand will get used to moving, look, to the positions in question. And that can be one way, just if you want to practice playing the chords through. Okay, so we've learned there the first part of the piece with the left hand. Now there's one thing we are going to have a quick look at, and that is of course what happens when you are playing this piece and you want to include the repeat. Well, here we've got box number 1. This is called a first time bar, and you can see it's sitting next to box number 2, or bar, second time bar. Now on the first time through, you play the first time bar. That's the bar with the line over it that says number 1. And so notice we've got the little C major chord, just C and E, look. And then we're going to lift up and we're going to put our thumb on middle C and we're going to go C, B natural, C, back to B flat, and then G. Notice I'm keeping these two guys here because when we go back we're going to want to be in this position for the F chord. So it's finish, da 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 da, C, lift, and it's a staccato C chord, so it needs to sound like a semiquaver. 1 and 2 and 3 and it does diminish there, so you could smidge the tempo down a bit. Da 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 da. There we go. C7 da 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 da, F chord, augmented D minor. See, I've really got these patterns worked out because I know my chords. I've really learnt my chord shapes. That's a D minor, that's a C chord, that's a G7, and here's a little baby C chord. So make a point of memorising those, even if you still have to read the music. If you get some of those in your memory, it will help absolutely no end. Okay, gang, so let's now go back to the beginning and let's focus now on the right hand of part 1 of Burgmuller's Innocence. Okay, so where are we starting? Well, we're quite high up, aren't we? We're not actually down here anymore. We're not up here. We're actually up here on this little A note. Okay, so That's one of the highest notes in this part. We do go up to B flat and C a little bit later on. And in the second part, we go way off the camera. We'll work that in a little while. So we're going to start with our forefinger. Now, the right hand in this piece is all about the finger patterns. You've got to be very conscious of the finger patterns, making sure that they are very well learnt. If you learn average fingering and use average fingering this piece, you will get an average performance. If you learn really good solid fingering patterns, you will get a really good solid performance. Makes sense. Okay, so here we go, the gang. So first of all, we've got the first line, and we have got a load of semiquavers. So 4 semiquavers, 4 of those notes with the 2 lines on. That means we are playing 4 notes to every pulse of the music. So if the music's going 1, 2, 3, we've got to go ta 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 ta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The magic word here, and again, if you've seen any of my videos, you will know that I'm a big fan of words and rhythms. In other words, the words of our English language helping us to learn the rhythmic feel of musical patterns. So 4 of those, I think, uses the word caterpillar. Caterpillar, caterpillar, caterpillar. And we really come in nice and sharp. So we're right up here on the A above middle C, 2 A's above. Here's the first A, here's the second A, and the first finger is finger 4. So we're going to put our 4th digit right there, and we're going to go 4, 3, 2, 1. Straight down to E, look. So I want you to do that first one. I want you to click your fingers like this, and then go caterpillar, caterpillar, caterpillar. Tap your foot, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and that's the pattern. All we then have to do is change the first note each time. So we're going to go A down to E, lift your forefinger up, put it on F, lift your finger, put it on D, remembering the B flat. So there's 3 groups there, starting on A, F, and D, and they're using just 4 notes. As we said at the beginning, it's just little scale patterns, isn't it, guys? That's all it is. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then okay, and then C, B flat, and that's the first phrase. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, there are other ways of counting. If caterpillar isn't to your liking, you can split the beat into 4 syllables: 1, E, and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and I like caterpillar personally, but hey, it's all personal choice. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 1 and 2 rest. Okay, so that's your first phrase. And because that's so busy, Mr. Burgmuller just puts a great big F chord underneath it. Look. And then we change. Okay, so we'll have a go at putting it together in a few moments. Now, after you've done that, we're then going to do this run. Now, that was well executed because I was using the best fingering. So 5 on G, look, all the way down to C like a scale. Reverse it, 3, and then in a scale we would, of course, tuck our little thumb under, wouldn't we? And then you'll finish on C at the top. But again, 3 groups of 4 little quarters. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and caterpillar, caterpillar, caterpillar. And then it's this is the great thing, it's the same phrase, it's the same construction. B-A-A. There you go. Okay, so that's the first 4 bars. So let's work those through. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and. Lift. Okay, so you see there how well that works, because we've spent the time, and you will spend the time, I hope, making sure that right hand is well learned. Don't worry about putting your hands together. Spend a few days on the left hand, a few days on the right hand, and really get those patterns very, very well learned. Okay, So here's the next 4 bars then. So now we're going to have some little sort of turny pattern here. So again, we're going to start on A, look, and we're going to go down to E. Well, that's easy because we did that at the beginning, didn't we? So ta 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 ta, 3 on F. Why 3 on F? Well, we've got a little dippy bit here. Look, we're going to dip down and back. So we're going to go 4, 3 on the F. That shunts the thumb out the way, look. 2 jumps in, over to C sharp and back, okay? Bit faster. Caterpillar, caterpillar. So that could be a phrase that you would learn that on your own. Learn it by itself until you can play it with your eyes shut. And then it becomes very well embedded in your memory. Okay, so let's go to the next part then. Oh, now look, here we've got that opening pattern. Ta 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 ta. And look, we're jumping down, look. Ta 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 ta. That's what the 4 fingers doing. 4 on G, 4 on E, 4 on C, with the notes filling in between, look. Nice smooth pattern, look. Caterpillar, caterpillar, caterpillar. This is my favourite bit, this next bit. Okay, that's easy enough. Notice the B natural in there though, because we are going towards a little bit of a modulation here, change of key. But all it is, look, you've got to remember, miss one out every time you come down. Bring the 4 finger over, look. Now this is my fun bit. Little pairs now, folks, break these up. And what we do is we lift and bring our finger down with a little accent, A flat to G, and come off with a little staccato if you want. Normal A, 5 on E, and C, do, 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 do. And then we go round again to the beginning. Okay, now this lesson, gang, is going to be broken into 2 parts. So this is the first part of Innocence. By the way, everybody, if you'd like to support the channel, please do hit that subscribe button. And if you'd like to visit my website, my name is Tom Horton. I'm a professional UK-based musician, and I have lots of things to do with organs and pianos and teaching, and I compose music. You can check out my website, tomhorton.co.uk, for music books and CDs and things. You can follow me on Facebook and also Instagram, and hopefully you'll decide to support the channel on patron.com/keyboard skills pro, where you can actually get an annotated score of today's piece if you want to see all these notes and chord symbols. I've annotated on them for you. So you subscribe to silver level, and then you'll be able to get the bonus complimentary PDF, which I hope you'll consider doing that. Thank you in advance. Okay, so we now want to say, okay, we've spent our time on our chords, and we've really got these, we've learned the pattern of the piece, but we've also learned D minor chords as D minors, C as C majors, G7s as G7s, and don't just learn them as part of a pattern, make a point of learning them for your music anyway, because hey, why not? They will come up in other pieces. But now let's say we've learned the right hand and we've spent the time on those patterns, and we're now going to have a go at bringing the 2 together nice and slowly to let the pattern through. So you can play it slowly, but you must have a strong count. So make sure you count yourself in. I normally do 2 bars, 1 in crotchet time and then 1 in quavers, just to give me that speed. 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and. And then back round. Okay, so let's work that through then. So what have we got? Well, we're starting off first of all with our big chord over our run. So we start together, and we can forget about the left hand for a minute. That will just do its thing. Notice again, look, just like in that second later part, you're jumping down 1 each time, 1 hop over, missing the key out. And then don't slow down though, you've got to keep the speed going. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and trying to get that nice change. Look, there you go, look. And that B flat, which would be here in the chord, is up here in the melody. Okay, there's your G minor. So that 2 bars, that 2 bar phrase has then got to be thought of as 1 sentence. So look, I know exactly where I'm going. If you fumble there, it means you don't know your chords well enough. So then go back and warm up with the chord sequence a few times. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then look, I just lift up and my hands just automatically, look at that, I'm making the shape in the air. Look, there you go, lift up and walk down. Right, here we go. Look, so again, once we've got this C7, we can go up and down quite nicely. Nice run, look. 1, 2, 3, and then keep going. Back to the F chord, don't move your thumb. Lift, so it's 1 and 2, 3. So once you've got the first 2 bars learned, the second 2 bars will follow on a lot easier because essentially it's the same pattern, exactly the same rhythm pattern, just slightly different in the melodic line, as it were. So anyway, here we go. Here's the first 4 bars. So that's where we're going to, look. 4 back on the A, ready. Now we've got this little bit. So again, what we've got to remember this time, though, if you look at the left hand here, there are minims and then a signing off beat. The third beat is used to just punch the chord again so we get another chance to hear it, and then it moves the music along. So D minor, C major, G dominant 7th, 3 of those, and then a little C chord at the end. Okay, so think of this as sort of like 1 bar at a time. So we've got D minor, A, here we go, look, and don't forget this little 3 on the F. And you play the D minor chord, funnily enough, with the D at the end. Okay, so that's the next bar. Just that little lift. But don't lift up your right hand. Don't do that, keep the phrase smooth. Okay, C chord, G on the 4th finger. Remember, we're coming down in hops, jumping the one in between. Again, hold it down, look. 1, 2, oh, I missed it. Where? Wake up, Tom. This is live, it happens. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right, 1, 2, 3. Now, don't forget, these 2 guys are going to split apart, not 2. Use your 3rd finger, and then little accents, look. Okay, finish on the C chord. 1, 2, 3, and finish, then repeat. So again, look, chop, so come off nice and short. And it flows. Going up, D minor, 3, 4, 4, 4. And when you get to box 2, you just play the chord, and then this little bit becomes a similar thing up here, but different. Again, that B natural coming in, look. Da, so, da, 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 finish in 2, and da, 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 da. And then we go through to the second passage. So there we go, that's the first part of Innocence, number 5 in the 25 Easy and Progressive Studies, Opus 17 by Johann Friedrich Burgmuller. It's about grade 3 level, those of you who do piano exams here in the UK, and it's often found on Associated Board or London College or something, one of the exam boards, as a popular grade 3 piece. So it's very, very nice. Lots of runs, lots of chords, fantastic study for anybody who wants something fun, but will give you a little bit of a workout in terms of scales and chords. So thank you, Mr. Burgmuller, for composing that little piece. We'll see you in part 2 for the second part of Innocence. Thanks again, everybody. Please do hit subscribe. Check out my website and my other social media platforms, and I will see you in this delicious bit. But until then, many thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.